When I think about the moments that I've truly felt at ease, it's been when I've stepped out of the city and found space to really let my thoughts settle. Now, that might sound a little bit cliched, but it's true, and to be honest, it was actually a pretty big revelation to me when I figured that out. I grew up on the outskirts of Liverpool in a fairly sleepy seaside town, and I probably took the nature that was on my doorstep for granted, and I was just drawn to the music and the football and Liverpool itself. And I guess that's why when it came time for university, I moved out of my parents' home and went and kind of thrust myself into city life. I decided to move out to Germany, to Hamburg, before moving to London 3 years ago. But if there's one thing that's really struck me during lockdown, it's that I really don't miss the day-to-day of city life. Cramming myself onto a bus, getting stuck in traffic twice a day, it's really just not a very fulfilling lifestyle for me. I look at the toll that London's taken on my body over the past 3 years, and it really isn't worth it. I've put on 20 kilograms since moving to London. I actually managed to lose probably 5 to 10 of it over the past 6 months. But just like getting to grips with city life where you're working sometimes from 7 until midnight, it can be really difficult to ground yourself and find a fulfilling way to be. There's obviously so many amazing things that you can do in London, and I've met amazing friends here, and I've met incredibly inspiring people who do it a lot better than I do, but I just have to accept that I'm not the sort of person who can keep that pace consistently, and that's why it's kind of time for me to move out. During the time I've been in London, I've neglected a real part of myself that turns out really mattered. I've always been a really creative person. I've made music, I've taken photographs, I've tried to learn how to code and put websites together and things like that. And I just haven't done any of that since living in London. And in fact, the only times that I've really been drawn to that creative side of myself has been when I've gone on holiday to places like Iceland and the Lake District and Cornwall. And I've really had time to kind of be in an environment and process things, allow myself to express myself as well, and write and make music and think. And that's what I want to get back to. And also, I just find it more fulfilling being around my friends and family. And as time goes by, more and more people move out of London. I think I'm not going to be the only person who moves out during this kind of coronavirus moment either. So it's time to move home, and it's time to find a more sort of settled life and to ground myself a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing. Me and my fiance are moving out of London next week, and I guess that's why it's time to reflect as well and try and start that journey with an opportunity to create new habits and create new way of looking at the world. So I want to get this YouTube channel going. I've dabbled with YouTube in the past, I've dabbled with a lot of things, but I really want to see something through, and I want to use this new start as a way of really grabbing onto a project and putting myself forward. A lot of lifestyle, leadership, productivity blogs out there who are incredibly inspiring to me, but they also seem a lot of the time like quite far out of reach. It's like, they've already got things covered. They're already super successful in what they do. They have all these kind of productivity routines, and I'm sure they've got their own kind of vulnerabilities and stuff behind the scenes, but I just want to do this from a perspective of someone who is at the start of that journey, who wants to change for the better, and kind of document my progress with you, hopefully, if you're still listening, and try to become a fitter, healthier, more productive, more creative person, and be the person that I really want to be. So I would love you to join me on this journey, and if you want to join me, then please do subscribe, and I hope that I can maintain some accountability to any of the audience that I do have, and find a way to move forward and be really positive and come out of this coronavirus with something that's really positive for me, in the right place, doing the right things, and moving forward. I feel like I've got something to share, and it might not be the same story as everyone else, but that's okay. It's my story. So if you want to join me, then please do subscribe, and I appreciate it.